Hey guys, welcome back to the DrCliffAuD vlog. This is vlog number 18, and it has been an incredibly busy weekend for me. First and foremost, I kind of just want to say that as far as the new clinic goes, I'm not going to be giving very many updates on that as of right now until we figure out really what's going on with it. I know that eventually things will get corrected there, but I'm just going to kind of put discussion about the clinic on pause right now, and trust me, as soon as I have some updates to give you, I will absolutely give you those updates. That being said, the reason it was such a busy weekend is because I had a ton of recording to do and I had a ton of presentations to do. Since the whole COVID-19 thing has gone on, everything has really just been shifting to more of a virtual format, which for me is not really an issue. I mean, everything that I do is super virtual at this point with recording all of these videos and whatnot. It really kind of started earlier in the week. I had a HLAA, so Hearing Loss Association of America webinar that was a nationally presented webinar. I think there was something like 700 registrants for it. I'm not sure how many of those actually attended. I know that it was in the, 500 to 600 range, I believe. But I gave an hour presentation just kind of on the status of where the industry is right now, where I'm at, and where I think everything's going to go post-pandemic. So if you really want to check out a cool webinar, I thought that it was really good from the information that I was able to share and all of the questions I was able to answer. In fact, there were so many questions. I want to say there was something like 70 to 80 questions that were left during that presentation. And I had to record 45 minutes worth of Q&A after the presentation was over, and the presentation was an hour. So there's a lot of really good information, a lot of great questions were asked, and I believe that the Q&A video is going to be posted right alongside the actual webinar that was recorded. So if you haven't had a chance to see it yet, you can go over to the HLAA website and they should have that presentation on there, so go ahead and check it out. On top of that, I actually gave a presentation to the organization in California. So California, the state association there for hearing healthcare professionals, they put on a terrific virtual conference that I was the keynote speaker of. In fact, dating back out several months back, they had reached out to me inquiring if I'd be interested in being a keynote speaker for them and coming out to California and giving 2 different talks out there in California. And then, of course, all travel was basically shut down from the pandemic. And so they did a really good job at converting everything from an actual conference that you would physically attend to a virtual conference where everybody just basically jumps on GoToWebinar, and then all of their speakers are lined up to give their presentations. And so I had to give 2, or I got to give 2 presentations for this. The first one was discussing how best practices can provide additional value to their patients. And if you all know, you know that I'm a huge believer in best practices and that those are the reason that you are even paying a hearing care professional to do what they do. Otherwise, you could just buy devices online, fit them however you want to, or have them auto fit for you, whatever. But it's the best practices, and there are laundry lists of these best practices that should be performed in clinic for you to get you the most benefit out of your hearing aids. So I gave a 2-hour presentation on best practices and how to implement them to provide additional value to their patients. And I felt that that went over really well. There was a bunch of questions after that one as well, and I was able to get all those answered. But very gracious that they had me come talk or virtually talk to the entire group. And since I'm so used to talking on camera, I've actually been teaching a business practice seminar at my old alma mater, University of Illinois, for the graduate students there. So I'm very used to having this virtual format where I don't even have anybody in front of me that I'm talking to. And the rule of thumb really, anytime you're on camera, just as an FYI, is you have to raise your energy level by double just for it to come across as being normal. So keep that in mind. If you feel like I'm being animated right now, just imagine me going like kind of double what my normal energy is to get this to come across on camera. That being said, I had an additional talk as well. Now, originally my talk with them was going to be about my clinic build-out process for anyone who's interested in starting their own clinic, what have you. But since the whole coronavirus thing happened, this scramble to do remote programming and provide remote care where you can adjust hearing aids inside the clinic with a patient who's at their home is a really hot topic right now because everyone's trying to scramble and figure out how to make that work. And I've actually been providing that type of care for about 1.5 years now. In fact, I posted my first video about the topic, I believe it was in June of last year. And what is it, May right now? So, almost 1 year ago, I posted a video about providing remote care. And it was striking because one of the poll questions during my presentation was asking them who has provided remote care at some point, and the resounding majority was that they had not. I'm talking like 80+% of the hearing care professionals who were in attendance of the webinar, and we're talking about, well over 100 providers, I believe, had never provided any kind of remote care. And that kind of blew me away. I mean, my clinic for all intents and purposes was better equipped to handle this virus because I was able to continue to provide care to probably 80 to 90% of my patients through this remote care platform where I'm able to tap into their hearing aids, read the data out of the hearing aids, make adjustment to the hearing aids if necessary, and actually check in with my patients because I can see them, they can see me, we can hear each other. I can basically do almost an entire visit with them virtually. So it was a really good thing to be able to share all of that information that I have. Again, that was another 2-hour discussion or 2-hour presentation that I gave for that about all of the 6 major manufacturers and how their remote programming system works. So, it doesn't matter what brands they fit in their clinic, they were able to get a snapshot of basically how each manufacturer does their remote programming. And I just feel really fortunate that I had adopted this new future delivery model of hearing care so long ago, right when it first came out. And that's the thing that I pride myself on, is that I am constantly in this industry and learning new things and taking these new things and implementing them. And I try to do it like on the tip of the spear, the front of the pack. A lot of you know that I'm a United States Marine. Of course, I haven't been on active duty since 2006, but the Marine Corps, they're considered the tip of the spear. They're the ones who go in right away. And, it's interesting that I kind of take that idea and run with it inside of this industry. And the other thing I just kind of want to point out is, when you're looking for a hearing care provider, and I'm just kind of going off on a tangent here, but if you're looking for a hearing care provider, you're looking for one of 2 individuals. You're either looking for a professional or a provider, okay? A provider is someone who goes to work and practices their craft at work with their patients and goes home, and that's it. Right? It all ends there. They leave it all in the office. The only time they think about it is in the office. But a professional is someone who goes into the clinic and provides care and practices their craft in the clinic, but when they leave the clinic, they are still working on gaining more knowledge, they are still thinking about how they could do something differently or better, and they basically live their profession. That is a professional. And if you are trying to find someone to go to, you really want to see if you can figure out who the professional is. And that's the person you want to go to, because they are constantly trying to absorb new information and implement that inside of the clinic to improve outcomes. That being said, really busy weekend. I just got done recording for about 3 hours here this afternoon. I recorded a video on reverse slope hearing loss, which is a very difficult hearing loss to treat. And I've had overwhelming requests about that particular topic, even though only a small portion of individuals with hearing loss have reverse slope hearing loss. And then I was recording some videos for the providers in my network. For those of you who are unaware, I have a DrCliffAuD approved provider network. And the whole reason I started the network is so individuals who do not live in the state of Arizona or in the Phoenix area and can't come to me, but they want to find a hearing care provider who does all of the different things that I talk about from a best practice standpoint, there is now a network of providers who have been approved by me. They've had to go through this whole application process and submitting information to me and calibration records for different pieces of equipment like real ear verification and commit to providing best practices for their patients and commit to acting as a fiduciary on their behalf. And so part of that is me making sure that individuals who are looking for providers like them can actually find them. And so I started this network at the end of 2019. There were probably, 60 to 70 providers in the network. And I've worked really hard this weekend in creating video content specifically for them so they can push out into their local community that, hey, we're someone who adheres to these higher standards, and if you're interested in going to someone who follows these best practices and is acting as a fiduciary on your behalf, we're here for you. So that's a really big project I've been trying to work on for a while. The ironic thing with this whole pandemic is that I've had a little bit of extra time to work on creating some additional content. So I'm really happy about that and glad that I got it done. Now there's just a ton of post-editing to do, which is, when you guys see my videos, the amount of work that goes from just conception of the idea all the way to scripting, recording, post-editing is a lot of work. And we're talking about making individual videos for every single provider in the network. So that's just a lot of work to do. So with that being said, I should probably end this vlog and get back to work. I'm going to go eat some dinner and then work until it's time to go to bed. So guys, thanks for hanging out with me again and watching this vlog. If you want to see the other vlogs that I've done, you know that you can find them on my YouTube channel. And then I've even been posting them on LinkedIn as well. So take care, guys, and I'll see you next week.